Hello, beautiful, empowered vegans. Happy Thursday. So, I hope you all are doing well. I I was sitting here thinking, what am I going to talk about? I didn't have a guest. I usually have my guest lined up, but I didn't. And I thought this would just be an open forum of thoughts. So, I wondered what I was going to talk about. And it was just 5 minutes ago, 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago before I decided I'm feeling very drained. Drained, tired. I've been working hard, and I thought we could talk about that. What it's like to be in a world that can drain us all the time, in a world that's not perfect, in a world that can be very hurtful when we're surrounded by people that don't understand and that might think we're odd or think we're weird and they get tired of hearing it or they just don't want to know. They don't want to hear it. So, what's that like and what do I do about that? I mean, like right now I feel like my energy is very drained. And that's okay. I honor that. I honor my energy being drained. And I honor being and recognizing that I'm not meant to go on like I'm not a robot. I don't even think robots can go on forever. So what can we do about this? Living in a world where we go to the store and we're triggered, and or we go meet our friends and they talk about very casually about things that are very triggering to us. What do we do about that? What do you all do? Let me know if you're watching on the replay, if you're watching, let me know what you think. What do you do when you get triggered? And what do you avoid? Do you avoid things that would bring you joy that you might have participated in before and you were able to, but you're not able to now? So, and what's it like to feel that way? To be able to, to go to an event. When you think about the old days, the pre-vegan days, when we go to events and we wouldn't have to, well, we would just go to like, let's just say 4th of July barbecue and everybody was happy and there was no sadness. It was all just fun and we didn't know any better. And now we see things in a different light. And how do we handle that? How do you handle that? How do I handle it when I'm exhausted and these things are going on? And I just have to, for me, I have to step away and take time for myself. I have to go outside and sit in the sunshine or go in a quiet spot and just kind of retreat because I have to accept, number one, I have to accept that the world is not all beautiful. There's parts that are harsh and parts that are triggering and parts that are not going to be to my liking. And that's part of life. It's not what I want, but it's the facts of life, right? It's the facts. Just like I accept not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to resonate with what I'm saying, and that's okay. So it's about growth and seeing things through new eyes. How do we see the 4th of July picnic now in a way that we can still enjoy ourselves and not be triggered the whole time? And how can we cope better? How can we cope with the sadness that comes with being awakened? And knowing that most likely it's going to be tomorrow, the next day, this is the same. And somehow we've got to keep going. What can we do about that? Well, for me, I've said this many times, and I probably sound like a broken record, but I really try to focus on the good, right? What am I doing? And that has really helped me in my life, helping others and being a voice for others, taking the shift off of, what's going on, the problem again, and back to what can I do about it? What are you doing about it? How can you get out there and help animals? Maybe even how can you relieve your sadness or your triggering by going to an animal sanctuary or volunteering at an animal. I mean, it doesn't even have to be animal related. I mean, for me, I love that. But maybe for you, it's okay if it's not animal related. It's okay to get away from the activism all the time. It's okay to do something completely not related to animals or veganism, and to take a break. I know a lot of us feel guilty that we have to continually be doing something, but we have to take care of ourselves first, because if we don't, we're not going to be any good for anyone else. We have to be advocates for ourselves first. So, what does that look like, being an advocate for yourself? That really looks like loving yourself. You can't be a strong advocate for yourself if you don't love yourself. You can't take care of yourself in the times of triggering and harshness, when you feel like the world is beating down on you, if you don't love yourself, if you don't know how to self-soothe, how to nurture yourself, how to be kind to yourself and offer yourself love when you're feeling sadness. It's crucial that we do that we offer ourselves love. And what does that look like? Offering myself love. How does that show up in your life? How do you take care of yourself when you need it? And how often are you taking care of yourself every day and every week? How often are you taking care of yourself? Tangibly, what does that look like? I mean, for me, it looks like sometimes I need to take a nap. Sometimes I just need to turn everything off and go outside and sit in the quiet, or go to the park and walk with my dog and forget about everything. And sometimes I have to go out with someone that's not vegan and just get away from everything, get away from the conversations about veganism. And I can see where that might be triggering to someone, to say, "What do you mean?" Well, if I go out with a, and I talked about this last week, I think, if I go out with a friend that's pre-vegan, it's most likely the things are not going to come up. And I have to get away sometimes. I can't handle it. So knowing that that's okay, that I'm a human being on this road of life, doing her best, just like you, just like the animals. We're doing our best to stay afloat. In fact, everyone on this earth is doing their best to stay afloat. But they have different viewpoints, they have different beliefs in what's right and what's wrong, and what's necessary, what's not necessary. So I have accepted that. I've accepted that because through much, much inner work, I'm able to see that what is driving people. It's their happiness. They're wanting their happiness, and what caused them to believe what they are, whatever their beliefs are caused by the beliefs they were brought up in, or their situation, their circumstances, and everyone's is different. So that's why some people are more receptive to hearing about the vegan message and some aren't. I mean, it depends on all their life's experiences, the experiences of life. So knowing that, I mean, that helps me not to be triggered also, because knowing that people are different, they're not out to trigger me. Some of them might be, yes, but generally they aren't. That they live in an unawareness and in a lack of awareness of the suffering in the world. And we are this is a age where we have completely disconnected almost from the true soul of nature and Mother Earth and her animals. We are highly invested in materialism, um, highly invested in commercialism, and we have really disconnected from our souls. And so it makes sense. I mean, the more disconnection we have from ourselves, the more that we're able to hurt others, other animals, other people. Um, not understanding them, the more disconnected we are from Mother Nature, the easier it is to just toss trash out into the garbage instead of recycling or even consider the possibility of circular economics, of where we're not recycling but we're reusing, right? So it's all about um, connection to Mother Earth, because when we're connected to her, we recognize that we are her living being, that we are her children, that we are here to take care of her. But that's something that doesn't cross people's minds very often in today's society, getting up or being connected to Mother Earth and how that ripples through the world, how every thought that we have is creating a ripple, sending energy to the world, to all living beings. Everything we're doing, it's going out there. So our thoughts are very important. Our thoughts are healing. So it's important that we send love to ourselves, we send love to others. When we are feeling this anger in this world that can be suffocating, and and it can be very dismal if we get caught in that thought of why does no one care, right? Why why are some animals viewed as important and others are viewed as trash? So that can really be debilitating. Um, and what do I do about that? I have compassion for people that have lost so much sight in their life that they view Mother Earth as disposable, um, and animals as disposable items. I have to have compassion for them because, my gosh, what if they're missing out on the joys of life? They're missing out on the connection of life, the very essence of this this human experience. This human experience is about connection and love and kindness. And when someone is so far separated from that, it's when these things happen. This disconnection, again, from animals, unable to see the beauty in each living being. So my heart goes out to those people. I have compassion for them and I send them love because love is the only thing that is going to heal our world. It's very easy to hate. It's so easy to hate and to blame. It's not so easy to listen and understand. Where are they coming from? What has caused someone to think the way they do? Well, what hurts? What pain has caused them to be so cut off from what is our essential nature, Mother Earth, and her living beings? What has caused that, right? These are all questions that come up when I think about living with the anger that I get when I go to the store sometimes, or just see a balloon. I was watching a movie the other night, and I guess it was a documentary they released about, I don't know, 100 balloons, and I felt sick, 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 and at the unawareness, the disconnection from nature. So my prayers were to the animals that they would not be hurt by those balloons. And my commitment is to keep doing what I'm doing, to be a voice for Mother Nature and for our animals in every way possible, but also to be a voice for myself and to know that I have to take breaks and to be proud of myself for taking breaks, to be proud of myself for getting on this live stream and allowing myself to be very imperfect and today, but to still love myself and to still go on the best I can. So, what about you? How do you deal with living in the anger of an uncaring world? Are you able to have compassion for others? Are you able to hear their story? Are you able to see from the eyes of someone who's not awakened yet with compassion? We can see from those eyes, yes, but can we see from those eyes with compassion? That's the shift. So, a lot of things are going on now in the world. There's a lot of turbulence and a lot of sadness. So, knowing that every thought, again, every thought that we have is going out there in the world, and that thought and that those prayers or those feelings, those vibrations are healing. So, what I do is send out love to the world, send out love to myself again. So let me know what you're thinking. I also make sure to have a supportive community, friends that I can turn to when I'm feeling tired. And I also don't pretend like I'm not tired. I say I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained, and I need time to myself. There's no reason for me to pretend. I mean, not to be um, not to be true to myself, right? There's no reason for that. So being honest with myself and knowing that I am a human being again, I'm a human being that's perfectly imperfect. And yes, there will be days when I'm exhausted, and there will be days when I wake up with a bunch of energy. And then to go with the flow, the flow of life, and not fight the current, right? I know that there's going to be anger. Am I going to fight it, or am I going to flow with the anger? Flow next to the anger as a light of love and warmth to heal the anger, right? 'Cause if I fight the anger, I'm going to be exhausted. But if I flow with love and knowing, and I flow with love, knowing that the anger is not part of me, right? The anger in the world is what I'm talking about. The anger in the world is something that needs to be healed. And so when I feel angry feelings inside of myself, that's a feeling. It's not encompassing of me. It's a feeling that I'm having, a feeling that I honor. And that's very important, honoring the feeling of anger and what she's here for. What is anger saying? What is anger? If anger had a voice, what would anger say? What color is anger? What does anger smell like? What does anger taste like? What would you say to anger now if they were in front of you? And behind anger you saw fear. What would you say to anger? And what would you say to fear? These are some thought provoking questions. So it's a time of exploration, and that's what I do. I am, and many people might not know this, but I'm a vegan empowerment coach. I'm a transformational coach. And what is that? What's a transformational coach, right? So I'm not a therapist. A therapist, well, they look more at like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong here? Transformational coaching is looking at and looking at what is going on in your life and how can we build from there, like what is right here and how can we build from this and how can we heal those wounds, how can we work together to heal those wounds that you might be feeling, the wounds of childhood perhaps, the wounds from your family laughing at you for your food choices, the wounds from your relationship where your partner doesn't understand why you're doing what you're doing for the animals. What can we do to heal those wounds? So that's what I work with my clients on, healing these wounds and the limiting beliefs that go with the wounds of childhood. Maybe someone said something that hurt us, right? And how can we deal with that and move forward? How can we take what they said and look at it in a different way as a stepping stone to power? So that's what I do with my clients. And in group coaching, we come together in a safe, supportive space, also sharing vulnerabilities and struggles, but yet on a mission, on a goal to be better activists for our planet. So that's why I love groups so much, and one starting in a week, less than a week. So if you want to get in on that, please message me right away, because we're running out of time to get in on that. And again, it's with animal wisdom. I love animals, and when I'm out watching the animals at the nature center, I see them so differently now since I started my coaching programs focused on animal wisdom. I watch and I see them in different eyes, with different eyes. The other day I was watching the vultures, and I don't know if I told you all this, but we have a couple of vultures at the nature center that are, we have two vultures at the nature center that are not releasable. One was imprinted, and I'm not sure. The other one I think might have wing damage. So we also have two vultures that are they come and visit and they help clean up. So those vultures I saw flying high in the air, and I thought, look at those eagles. And then I saw as they perched near the wildlife rehab that they were indeed the vultures, the two vultures that are our friends that live on the property. So I love them. I love them for their green actions of cleaning up this environment, taking care of Mother Earth, doing a job that others don't want to do. That's courageous, and that is beautiful. People hate them. So many people think they're ugly and gross, but I champion them. They are an example of dedication to Mother Earth. They are caretakers of Mother Earth. So that's a good example of an animal that's hated yet so beloved by me. I love them. And they're very social animals. So life's experience, there's always experiences in life. What can we learn from them? That's the question. What can we learn from the anger that's encompassing our world, the anger of sadness and fear? What's behind it, right? When we feel angry, the sadness behind it. What's the fear behind it? What is behind it? What else is behind it? So this is it's inner work. And in order to really elevate your life and your strength and your courage and your compassion, we have to be vulnerable and we have to be courageous to do the inner work. If not, we're going to be stuck down by all these limiting beliefs and by the anger and by the frustration and by the despair. Sure, we can feel anger and frustration and despair, but we can also feel courage and we can also feel hope. So I have very low energy right now, but I know that this is not going to be, this is not with me always. It is with me now, and it's temporary. So I feel hopeful. Maybe a nap would do the trick. However, I am very hopeful. I'm very hopeful because of myself and because of you all that are making a huge difference on this planet. So I encourage you all to really give it some thought. Everything that I've been talking about today. What colors anger? What's behind the anger? What's behind the fear in yourself, right? The feeling when you feel anger, what's behind all that? How can you self-soothe? What does that look like to you? Is that something new? Is that a new concept? So what I'd like to also ask you to do is reach out to me if you're interested in the group coaching program, or if you want one-on-one coaching, that's beautiful too. Um, I've had some great clients in one-on-one coaching that really are shining now. I'm very, very proud of them. And I'm honored to have been with them on their journey. And it's a journey together. When I'm with my clients, we work together. We're on the same playing field. We're in a circle, right? We're together in togetherness. So, um, let me know if you're interested. What I really focus on is the feminine energy, the feminine energy is about discovery and exploration. It's very flowing, very graceful, and while I focus on the feminine, the masculine energy is very powerful, and definitely we need that masculine. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank you for watching. I wanted to get on here. Like I said, I have a very low energy right now, but I feel like I'm a little bit recharged from coming on here and just sharing some ideas and some hope for you all. Please, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling down, please reach out. Reach out to others. Reach out to me. Reach out to others. We don't want you to feel alone, ever. Take care of yourself first. And I will see you soon. Again, DM me, message me if you want to be part of the group coaching program that's starting next Wednesday. I'd love to have you. We're going to be moving forward with animal wisdom, maybe goat wisdom, right? Maybe vulture wisdom, maybe badger wisdom. But you bring your own animal wisdom to the course, and we'll all learn from each other, because that's what my courses are about, learning from each other. So this has been lovely. It is what it is, and I'm honored that you joined me for this, and may you be blessed. And you know what? I'll say a little meditation for our earth and for our animals. So just a little centering if you'd like to join me in closing your eyes and just breathing in the air that flows to each one of us, connecting of us in this beautiful sphere of light from Mother Earth. All of her love radiating into every cell of our body, connecting us with all living beings as they stand with you and me on our journey together. Feeling their power, their grace, and their wisdom supporting us as we support them and as we give thanks for this Mother Earth. She is so beloved. We honor her in her wisdom. Every tiny speck of dirt, every little blade of grass, every drop of rain, every ray of sunshine, all of these are blessed. They are lovely signs that the universe is taking care of us. And we just hold this quiet, loving space for our universe, for every star, the moons, the sun, the rains, the winds. We give thanks to them. We hold them in kindness and love. And we hold ourselves with love and compassion and gratitude. Thanking you for everything you're doing for animals on our planet, everything you're doing for Mother Earth. And knowing that we are together, I'm standing with you, you're standing with me, in honor of all living beings and Mother Earth. And so it is, and so it shall be. All right. Namaste, vegan, everyone.